Hi dear students, welcome to all for today's social class. Today we will see first lesson in economics. The lesson name is natural resources. In this lesson you will learn the meaning and types of resources, scarcity of resources, the need for conservation of resources and ways to reduce our ecological footprint. Listen. Previously, you learned that human wants are unlimited, but the resources to satisfy these wants are limited, which gives rise to the problem of scarcity. Resources is a broad term indicating all the materials that humans use in conducting their economic activities of production, exchange, and consumption. Among the various types of resources, natural resources are the major sources that are available for human use. These are the gifts of nature without which the survival of life is impossible. The sunlight, water, air, forest, soil, biodiversity, mineral ores, etc. are the natural resources which are vital for survival. However, which increase in global population to more than 7 billion, it is becoming very difficult to provide even the basic amenities to a large segment of population. In this chapter, you will study issues related to the resource scarcity, environmental conservation, and reducing our ecological footprint. Dear students, you know already the human wants are unlimited, but the resources is limited, is it? Let's see now. In this chapter, we will see meaning and how we need to conserve the resources, how we need to use it. Let's see now one by one. Let's see meaning and types of resources. Natural resources are naturally occurring substances that are considered valuable in their natural form. Thus, soil which grows food, water that supports many of other activities, the trees that give us many services, the air we breathe, the minerals that are raw materials for many products, etc., are all natural resources. Without this, our life would not have been so comfortable. Listen, dear students. Natural resources are naturally occurring substances that are considered available in their natural form. Got it? The naturally occurring resources are called as natural resources. Without natural resources, we can't imagine to survive or lead our life. Is it? Example, sunlight, air, water. Is it? Without these natural resources, we can't live. Natural resources are generally classified as falling into two types: renewable and non-renewable resources. Let us study them briefly. Listen, you know already the natural resources can be classified into two types. The first one, renewable resources, and second one is non-renewable resources. First one, renewable resources. Some natural resources get replenished as we use them. These resources are called as renewable resources. What do you mean by renewable resources? Natural resources get replenished as we use them. Such kind of resources is called as renewable resources. Nature, through its natural processes, goes on replenishing them. They are also called non-exhaustible resources. Example: water, land, forest, air, sunlight, and heat are some example. Got it? Let's see now non-renewable resources. Some natural resources get depleted as we go on using them. Eventually, they are emptied and cannot be created again. These resources are known as exhaustive resources. Minerals like iron ore, copper, gold, manganese, bauxite, etc. Minerals Mineral fuels like a coal, petroleum, natural gas, uranium, thorium, etc. Resources which get depleted and cannot be renewed. Got it? Some resources we cannot restore or reproduce. Such kind of resources is called as non-renewable resources. Example, iron ore, copper, gold, manganese, bauxite, fuels like coal, petroleum, natural gas, uranium, thorium, etc. Got it? Nature cannot replenish them through its processes, and so they are also known as non-renewable resources. Resources can also be classified as biotic and abiotic resources. Biotic resources are those that are derived from living organisms, and abiotic resources are those that are derived from the non-living components of the nature. While plants and animals are biotic resources, water, soil, minerals are called as abiotic resources. Got it? Let's see now scarcity of resources. All our basic needs like food, shelter, clothes, etc. are met out of various natural resources like air, water, soil, minerals, coal, petroleum, animals, plants, etc. But how long these precious materials of the nature will be available for our use? The growing population, rapid industrialization, and urbanization have created heavy demand on all these minerals, especially in relation to our ever increasing wants. The available resources are severely scarce. While the non-renewable resources are available in fixed quantity, renewable resources are likely to be exploited beyond their recognition rates. The main factors of increasing scarcity are, let's see now, first one, overpopulation. The increasing population requires additional land for growing additional food and providing shelter, which is made through conversion of forest land into agricultural land and agricultural land into residential, commercial, and industrial land. Got it? Second one, growing industrialization. With increased industrialization, extraction of minerals, ores, crude oil, and water increase, resulting in emptying of mines, oil wells, and water sources. Third one, expanding urban areas. Urban areas are those where a huge population lives in a small area. Naturally, the demand for resources and generation of waste is very high, contributing to reduction in quantity and quality of resources. Just imagine the plight of Bengaluru, which receives Kaveri water from hundreds of kilometers away, and that pure water is converted into wastewater by households and industrial units. Is it? Bengaluru receives Kaveri water from 100 kilometers away, but that pure water is converted into a wastewater by households and industrial units. Fourth one, atmospheric pollution. With the greater burning of fossil fuels like coal, diesel, and petrol, more harmful elements like carbon dioxide, hydrogen, sulfide, soot, and dust get into the air, polluting it. This reduces the availability of clean air. Got it? Fifth point, water pollution and land degradation. When the human, hospital, industrial and other waste are dumped in the open space, they affect the land and water, reducing the quality as well as availability. Water is also polluted by the agricultural and household activities. Got it? Listen, when the human, hospital, industrial and other waste are dumped in the open space, got it? The time it's affect the land and water, reducing the quality as well as availability. Water is also polluted by the agriculture and household activities. Water will be getting polluted that time. Therefore, the increase in population and their increased economic activities have increased scarcity and affected the quality of resources also. However, the scarcity can be overcome by how can we conserve the natural resources? Let's see now. First one, exploration and discovery of new sources of resources. We need to discover new sources of resources that time we can possible to conserve the resources. Is it? Second point, discovering substitutes means alternatives like solar and wind power in place of coal power, ethanol in place of diesel, plastic furniture in place of wooden furniture, etc. Increasing the efficiency of resources use, machines that consume less resources like 4-stroke engine in place of 2-stroke engines. Fourth point, government policies to regulate overuse of resources and pollution. Government need to make good policies to regulate the overuse of resources. That time we can possible to conserve or save the resources. Fifth point, educating people about conservation of resources and less polluting ways of doing everyday activities. Got it? Educating the people about the conservation of resources, that time is possible to conserve or preserve the or save the resources. Is it? This is today's class. In case if you have any doubts, you can call and ask. Now homework is you need to frame any own 5 questions in today's topic. Is it? In case you have, you can call and ask. Surely I will clarify your doubts. Okay. Thank you, dear students. Thank you. Have a nice day.